Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into something kinda unconventional. We aren't tearing through a massive textbook or some dense scientific journal. Nope, we're gonna do a forensic deep dive into a tiny string of text, a singular, modern digital artifact from this wild era of AI automation. So let's unpack every single layer of this digital intent.
Okay, let's dive into this. Just take a second and really think about this quote. Please analyze this video and write me a script so that I can make my own video by AI. That's it. That is our entire source material for this explainer. Literally just 22 words. It's actually kind of striking in its extreme brevity, isn't it? You've got this raw syntax, a total lack of capitalization, and yet this tiny, totally unassuming sentence. It holds an entire universe of human intention. It's basically the modern equivalent of rubbing a magic lamp. You've got a person expressing this highly complex desire to a machine, fully expecting a sophisticated output.
I got to inject a brief moment of dry humor here, because it's undeniably funny that our whole source material is literally just one run-on sentence in a web link. But check out how elegantly we can divide it up. On one side, we've got the input. This is the raw data, right? The YouTube link, the target material, and on the other side, we have the command. This is the human operator stepping right up to the steering wheel of the machine. The user is handing over the what on the left and the what to do with it on the right. It is the fundamental architecture of human-computer interaction, just completely boiled down to its purest essence.
Now, what's genuinely fascinating here is the specific choice of verbs this user went with: analyze and write. Let's actually deconstruct what those words demand of a system. Analyze implies a really high-level cognitive capability. The user fully expects the AI to effectively watch the video, understand the context, parse the audio, and extract the core meaning. Honestly, that's a staggering expectation of machine intelligence. And then you have write. That implies creative capability. They aren't just asking for a summary or, a boring bulleted list of facts. They're asking the AI to generate a brand new, structured, creative asset based on that cognitive analysis. Basically, they're asking the machine to be both the researcher and the artist at the exact same time.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Because right behind that single, rapid-fire sentence is a highly structured, logical thought process. The user literally has an entire production pipeline mapped out in their head. Step 1. The AI acts as the analyst to digest the source material. Step 2. The AI transitions into the role of a copywriter to draft up the script. Step 3. The human takes over, or hey, maybe they use another suite of AI tools to actually make the final video. What we are looking at is an entire content creation studio, a whole factory workflow, condensed down into 3 logical steps.
Let's look closely at the language itself for a second, because the grammatical quirks here aren't just mistakes. They're this fascinating study in rapid syntax. Notice the phrasing, write me script, instead of write me a script. Look at the lowercase I, or the shorthand by AI. These are absolute, authentic hallmarks of rapid and formal human-to-AI communication. When we're firing off digital commands to a system that we know doesn't care about perfect punctuation or capitalization, efficiency completely trumps grammatical formality. We drop the pleasantries just to get the result faster. Though I do find it kind of wonderful that despite the rushed typing, the user still took the time to start their prompt with the word please.
So, the crucial point is this highly specific phrase, make my own video by AI. This right here is the ultimate creative objective. It perfectly highlights the user's core ambition. They have a vision, they want to be a creator, but, maybe they lack the time, or the specialized writing skills, or the technical know-how to build a script from scratch. This phrase represents the profound democratization of content creation that we are living through right now. The AI is being used as a bridge to overcome a major creative bottleneck. It empowers the user to transition from being just a consumer of a YouTube video to a creator of their own media.
Now, I just want to take a quick second to appreciate the meta-level irony of what we're doing right now. We're inside a structured explainer analyzing a prompt from a user who was asking an AI to create a script for a video. We are essentially explaining an explainer prompt, dissecting the exact instructions someone used to automate the very process we are currently engaged in. It's a perfect mirror reflecting the modern state of digital content creation.
And this brilliantly illustrates a massive, undeniable gap in our understanding, the void. Think about this isolated URL. Without clicking it, without having the external transcript or the video content fed directly into our system, it's just a string of random letters, numbers, and symbols. It's a pointer. It represents a piece of media residing somewhere out there on a server, but right now, isolated in the text of this prompt, it's entirely opaque. It is a closed door.
Which obviously brings us to a really pressing question.
What is actually inside the provided link? Well, the reality is, we don't know. The text itself doesn't tell us. That unseen YouTube video acts as a literal black box. And here is the fascinating technical reality for the AI. Unless the AI receiving this prompt has active web browsing capabilities to actually venture outside the provided text, navigate to YouTube, and fetch that data, it can't analyze the video either. Because our source material today is strictly limited to the text of the prompt itself, we're in the exact same boat as an offline AI. We can meticulously analyze the user's intention, sure, but we cannot see the object of that intention.
So, we arrive at our final thought. When the source material is essentially just a link and a single command, what is actually left to explain? Well, quite a bit, it turns out. Even when the actual data remains completely hidden in the digital void, we can still uncover this profound story about human ambition, the shifting dynamics of how we create, and the fascinating, ultra-efficient ways we are learning to communicate with machines. It really makes you wonder, the next time you hastily type a rapid-fire command into a prompt box, what exactly are you revealing about your own thought process? Thanks so much for joining me, for looking closely at the details with me, and I hope this leaves you with something truly fascinating to think about.